Hello and welcome to Heavy Metal Rex. My name is Oasis, and today I wanted to do a post-mortem of what happened at the dyno yesterday, because I think there was a lot of really interesting stuff to talk about. But first, I'm sure you guys have noticed, the camera is a little different. My quality has gone up. Now I'm not too sure how I feel about you seeing what my actual face looks like. I did actually find my wife's camera, and it's a Nikon, and I'm finally using it. I didn't really want to use it before because I don't know that much about like camera settings and stuff, and I finally sat down, watched tons of YouTube videos to learn how to use this camera, and you know what, I think actually it looks pretty decent. I think there's still some settings that I need to tweak, but I kind of like the way it is right now. So I will try to use it more often. At least here, sitting here, I will use it. And I'll try to take it out in the garage with me and on videos because it is considerably better than my Insta360. So that's number one. Number two, if you are part of the giveaway, you should have already received your box. If you haven't, please definitely let me know. I know at least one person has actually reached out and said they received the box. I'm so thankful that it has made it, because a lot of the stuff that I sent didn't have tracking numbers to go along with it, because, you know, I'm not going to spend $30 shipping a box. But when you get it, please shoot me an email. Let me know that you received it, just so I can cross it out on the list. I thought actually the giveaway actually went pretty well. I used WRX for the giveaway, and it was simple. You guys are gonna have to let me know in the comments below if you like the way that it worked. That was for the 1,000 subscribers. So now we're gonna move on to 2,000 subscribers, which I haven't figured out exactly what I wanna do or what to give away. I've got a couple of ideas. Just stick around. We'll figure it out here in a few days. Number three, as you can see, I finally got the shelf put up. I have a couple of things here. This is actually my Hess truck collection. My wife started buying me these, which I absolutely love. But my daughter actually plays with them. And so I've got a couple of random stuff. You know, I've got I don't know why I have a piston from a charger up there. And just random knickknacks, like metal related knickknacks, car related knickknacks. Now this wall right here, these two areas, this needs some work. So I don't know if I'm gonna get like just random Lamborghini posters. There's something that reminds me of my childhood. So I'm gonna put some stuff up there hopefully soon. Also, I do have a P.O. box, which I will put in the description down below. The reason I wanted to put the shelf up is because I wanted you guys to be able to send me stuff, whatever you want to send me, whether it's metal, you know, metal music related, car related. You want to send me a pine cone, that's fine. They'll take it. I'll put it up there. Whatever you want to send. I think this will be a fun way to engage with everybody in the chat and just, you know, just build up my wall. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So you'll find that in the description. I'll make sure it's there. All that administrative work out of the way. The reason I wanted to talk about this is because a lot of things happen. A lot of interesting things happen. And people have asked me, like, oh, well, you know, you didn't make like 400 horsepower like so-and-so, or, you know, numbers look a little bit low or whatever. So we're going to talk about that. So on the screen, I have three numbers. The first number you're looking at is the E40 the power we made on E40 last time we went to the dyno. The second two numbers is the 93 number and the E40 from this time. My only goal, joking aside, my only goal was to come away with a 93 map that was as close to my E40 map so I could run that 93 map all of the time. And then just run the E40 map on nights I want to go race and stuff like that. And I will say that's pretty damn close. And actually here, let's look at what the pump number was. So we left off last time, this is the number right here, 321 horsepower and 361 torques. I'll try to be consistent. 321 horsepower and 361 torques. That's what we made on 93 last time with just an intake. Now, this time around, we made 330, almost 340 horsepower and almost 400 pound-foot of torques. And the reason why this is important is I didn't buy a $1,300 J-pipe or a $1,600 J-pipe or anything like that. Ecotech and the technicians there, Andrew and Misha, who owns Ecotech, they helped me basically make my own J-pipe, which, you know, in the interest of research and science was actually really cool. We didn't really know exactly what was going to happen, how it was going to perform. I think the expectation was that it will perform, and it it actually did. And even Graham was saying that it performs very close to an actual ETS J-pipe, you know? Yeah, there was some cutting and some welding, and that was the funny part because this pipe was actually an NVIDIA J-pipe from a VA WRX. And there was some additions that needed to be made because my catback is actually an MA Performance catback for a VA WRX. So when I was at Cody's shop, we had to cut it. We had to cut about 4 inches off of it to fit the factory pipe. And then here, what we ended up having to do was weld 4 inches back on to make the pipe fit again, which is just, I found that so hilarious that even happened. So we have a J-pipe it's an untested J-pipe. It's something that they built in-house, you know, not a knock on like their production quality. It was a whole great experience and it was a lot of fun, but still it's just, you know, it's built, it's in-house built. You know, so there was some things about it that may have not been exactly perfect. Second, we ran into an issue with, we were running out of air. You know, the intake was doing everything it could, but I believe that a lot of other people that are making a little bit more power, they have an ETS intercooler or like, you know, upgraded intercooler or even a front mounted intercooler, which I am most definitely interested in a front mount, and they will be here soon. It will be here. And, you know, those things combined, oh, and then the bypass valve was starting to leak. We were running into some issues. You saw that one pull that we did at 93 where it kind of cut off halfway through. That was kind of related to that. So we were finding limitations. And that's one of the reasons why we're not pushing like, you know, 400 horsepower out of this, because A, we're missing some parts. Some parts need to be installed, some bolt-ons need to be installed. And at the same time, it was actually really fun to be able to find, to be a part of this little team who is researching and finding the deficiencies or finding the limits of some of the parts that we do have installed. If you remember that, you know, I only have like 2 mods on here, and one is just, it's not like an actual built mod, it's built in-house, you know, the J-pipe. It just has a Burger Motorsport intake, that's it. There's nothing else on this car, mod-wise, when it comes to power mods. And still being able to see that it's made almost the same power that most people are making, 340 and 400 torques, it's awesome, you know? And I'm thankful for Graham for putting in the time to kind of figure this out and play with the car as much as he has. I'm thankful for Ecotech and my technician Andrew for building the pipe, and Misha for allowing me to have the time at the shop to even try this, you know? He could have easily been like, well, just go buy a pipe and we'll put it on. But I think this kind of stuff is fun for everybody. It's, you know, it's a new platform and we get to mess with it pretty much however we want. And that's basically what happened here. And so so what are the next steps? From here, we're looking at, I already have the Perrin turbo inlet, I have the Perrin bypass valve. I'm getting an intake from Perrin soon and hopefully a front mount. So I will be attempting to install all of these parts at home, and I'll have Graham kind of take a look at it, make sure everything's okay. And once all that's done within the next few weeks, you know, I don't know exactly what the time frame is going to be, then we'll be back at Ecotech, back on the dyno, testing all this stuff. Or depending on how, you know, how things go, maybe I'll just have them install the parts. You know, I'm not a master technician, but I like fiddling around. So I'm going to give it a shot and see how it goes. I still have the AOS to install, which I don't even know. I try not to think about it because every time I open that box, it kind of gives me anxiety. There's just so many fittings and so many pipes. But you know, when you see numbers online, you kind of have to take it not so much with a grain of salt, but you have to remember that, you know, what is it that's on that car and how long has that car been on the road? Another thing Misha and I talked about this morning actually was my car just hit 10,000 miles, which I'm going to be making a separate video to talk about my experiences with those 10,000 miles, because there are some. And compared to how I've been using my car and how other people have been using it, you know, let's say somebody you see on the forum or on Reddit or on Facebook, you see somebody says, oh, well, I just got tuned and this is the power I made. You know, I got tuned at 5,000 miles. You know, chances are like 4,000 is probably just highway miles, another 1,000 on city. Yeah, people rip on their cars, but I want to say not everybody is ripping on the car the way that I am. I mean, I'd say from when it had 1,000, 1,200 miles, I was out there doing vehicular acceleration testing. You know, you can, if you've been following the channel for any amount of time, you've actually seen that. I've done tons of races when I was stock, no problem. I have no problem doing that. I did a few when I was on the OTS tune, the Cobb OTS when that came out. Just a ton more after I got pro-tuned, you know, and then some more after that. You know, I'd say realistically, I've had, I mean, you know what, I'm probably gonna go back and count this. I'd say maybe 80 to 90 races total in the last, few months. And so my car having 10,000 miles is probably more like it having 25,000 miles of wear, because all those races, this engine was getting smacked, right? So these are things to take into account too. Misha was saying it will be interesting once we take the turbo inlet off, we can take a look at the turbo fins and see what condition they are in, because, you know, there could be some wear that we are not aware of, you know, no pun intended. So all of these things combined, it's a lot of fun to be able to do what I'm doing and to have the platform to then be able to bring it to you guys, because there's people out there that are hesitant, especially if you used to own a V8 WRX, and you may be worried, well, you know, I don't want to blow up my engine, I don't want to blow up my transmission, you know, what are the limitations of individual parts, you know, how much power can it hold, et cetera, et cetera. And, you know, there's tons of people out there that are installing mod after mod after mod, and that's great. But there isn't that much of what I'm doing, which, you know, people have said, you know, aren't you worried about blowing up your car? Well, yeah, I am. I don't want to blow it up. But if something happens, we have great historical data, how we got there, what happened, where it happened. And I have a great support team here, you know, with Graham, with, you know, all the technicians at Ecotech, and even my car community as a whole, who have been supporting me, you know, by bringing out their cars, or even just helping me tune, or just everything related to the car. You know, as long as I continue to have that support system, I will continue to do what it is I do. And especially if you enjoy what I do, it's never gonna stop. You know, doesn't matter what car it is, whether it's this WRX or the new hybrid STI, whatever the hell they come out with, I'm gonna get it. There's no doubt in my mind I'm gonna get it. So and that's all. I just wanted to do this post-mortem because there was a lot of questions, especially in the live stream, which was a lot of fun. I enjoyed the live stream, and questions came up, and, you know, even I had some questions. And I think it's important for all of us to be able to talk it through and be clear about it. You know, this combined with Tuner Talk has been a great resource for a lot of people and myself, because some of the questions that you guys have, you know, don't feel like I didn't have those questions. I actually have those questions right now. So I use Tuner Talk in these dyno days as a way to teach myself as well, because I don't know everything about cars, and I sure as hell don't know everything about this car. And I need professionals to be able to tell me. And even sometimes you guys come out in the comments, throw out some really good information, and I try to collect all of that and just keep it right up here. So I hope you guys are enjoying the videos. I hope open dialogue like this is appreciated, because I know I appreciate it for myself. If I have somebody that's doing it for me, it's the greatest thing, because I just prefer to not have any questions if we can talk about it. And if we can, and I have questions, I can ask, I have a place to ask. So if you have more questions about what happened at the dyno, or dynos in general, or this car in general, whatever the question is, throw them in the comments below. I have another Tuner Talk coming soon-ish. I haven't exactly planned it out just yet. I have a few people that I can pick from, which is nice. I just need to figure out when I can do it, because it takes time to record those. And also, there's very specific people you guys have been asking for. I'm trying very hard. I'm trying incredibly hard to get these individuals, and I know you know who I'm talking about. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and please remember, I do have my P.O. box in the comments below, or in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.